Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Wrestling Podcast. Because if I have a wrestling podcast, I get to make ethically difficult decisions, apparently. Yes, it's been 2 weeks since the chair shot heard around the world that caused me to give my first ever F grade to a professional wrestling show. And actually, the first time I've ever stopped watching a wrestling show in the middle of it, not actually finishing the entire event. And now they're doing it again. That's right, it's time once again for AEW, and this time it is Fight for the Fallen, the last B show, quote unquote, before All Out. And as much as I railed and ragged on these people after the last show, there's a fairly obvious question here. Why am I watching this? Well, I really have three answers for that. First, I think it's good for the wrestling industry that AEW exists, because I don't think this is going to happen again. If AEW collapses under their own incompetence, then nobody else that isn't WWE is ever going to get this opportunity again, at least not for another generation. So, yeah, good for the wrestling industry that AEW gets at least some of the benefit of the doubt. Second, they do seem to have made tangible steps towards improvement, and I respect them for that. Three, this is a company that's genuinely trying to do the right thing. Whether it be characters like Sunny Kiss, or to a greater degree Nyla Rose, not being exploited for things they would certainly have been exploited over a generation ago, whether it's taking into account people with neurological disabilities at their shows, and whether it's this show, Fight for the Fallen, that's taking a stand against gun violence. And that's what we're here for tonight, is Fight for the Fallen. And this is a charitable issue, a political issue that is very close to my heart. I grew up in the United States military, which means I grew up surrounded by the best marksmen, the best firearms experts, the best gun people on planet Earth. People who have forgotten more about firearms than the crazy folks on Facebook will ever know. And we never had a gun in the house because my father respected firearms too much to allow them in the house with well, I'll be honest, with a child like yours truly, who was very much, touchy, grabby, explory type of child. Also because we lived in countries where you didn't need them. Yes, gun-free societies are possible. Other countries have managed it. And as I mentioned on this channel, I don't like to mix my regular job with what I do on this channel, but I'm a teacher in Japan. I know for a fact none of my students were shot yesterday. None of my students will be shot today, and none of my students will be shot tomorrow. And I also know there's a teacher in America who cannot say that. America has been slowly dying from an epidemic of gun violence for years, decades, and nobody is doing anything about it. And I love that this company, this wrestling show, even if, yeah, they're doing it because it's good business. I don't care. I don't care why you do the right thing. I care that you do the right thing. And they're doing the right thing, taking a stand against gun violence. They clearly don't care if they alienate a chunk of their potential audience, the what I call ammosexuals of the world, the people who love their guns more than they love human lives. And because they're willing to take that stand, I'm willing to take a stand with them. This is AEW buy-in for Fight for the Fallen. Before we get to the actual wrestling, I want to talk a little bit about the set. Something that I like about AEW is that they go out of their way to be anti-WWE without specifically calling out WWE, at least not out loud. One of the things that WWE gets rightly criticized for is the sameness of their product. Raw is Raw. SmackDown is also Raw, but blue. Pay-per-views are also Raw, but with funny names. Everything looks the same. It looks sanitized. It looks artificial. It looks like a studio show, despite the fact that they're a touring company. Something AEW is doing that I like is that they are changing the setup at least a little bit, sometimes from necessity, sometimes from opportunity, but they are doing that. They are changing the set. This time we've got this really interesting looking set where the ramp actually comes to the ring at a strange looking angle that I don't think I've ever seen before. It does remind me, and I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but when WCW used to do shows from, Bash at the Beach or Sturgis, or they would do shows in unusual locations, or like they did in the shopping mall for one time. There was be that variety of location, which I really like. So credit there. As for the actual wrestling, 5 minutes into, 6 minutes into this, we're finally getting to the bloody wrestling. First match is the male librarian versus Sunny Kiss, and I've been informed that Sunny Kiss does prefer he/him pronouns, so that's what he's going to get. See, it's really easy to respect people's pronouns. The male librarian doing a looks to be a ravishing Rick Rude impression, and Sunny Kiss gets to come out accompanied by the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders and mascot. And no, that's not because Sunny Kiss is a fan of The Good Place. It's because the guy who's funding AEW is also the son of the guy who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. So a little bit of cross promotion here, but it's a little corny. I don't really care. Again, it's the charity show, and I like that they're giving people interesting and unique entrances. And the fact that this shows the company is behind Sunny Kiss, aka or FKA Exolicious in Lucha Underground, uh, it was okay. It was good. I'm glad they did it. The match itself was fine. It was mostly a showcase for Sunny Kiss, which is good. Sunny got in all of his signature offense. One thing I will say about the librarian, there's potential in this character, but this guy just oversells. This guy is goofy as all heck. This guy needs to be a little more realistic in his visual presentation, I would say. Bonus points to Chikara senior official Bryce Remsburg for ejecting the Jacksonville Jaguar mascot immediately before the bell even rings. He's had some experience with this. Chikara has had multiple humanoid animal wrestlers over the years. There's been the U.S. Ape, Moss Cow, the Communist Bovine, of course, Dragon, CM Monk and his partner Colt Cabani. So yeah, you want to get these mascot characters out of the way before they interfere in the bout. Sunny Kiss picks up the win, and I will say, as bad as I think the librarian character is, for reasons that I think are potentially telling, I'll see if this happens later in the show, this character got booed. The librarian got a really loud negative reaction. Sunny Kiss got a really loud positive reaction. That's good. The crowd is acting the way the show wants them to act. So, points there. Second match was a women's tag team match. You had I'm leaving this in. Britt Baker, DMD, teaming up with Riho that we saw at the last show, and going up against B. Priestley and one of my favorite Joshi wrestlers, Shoko Nakajima. I like her for two reasons. One, furry, and two, she's from my old hometown. My first 3 years in Japan, I lived up in Niigata Prefecture, and at least within kayfabe, that's where Nakajima is also from. This is another wrestler that made her sort of her U.S. debut in the Chikara King of Trios tournament last year. And really happy to see that. That people who impress me in Chikara are getting opportunities in the rest of the wrestling world. Really good tag team match, I thought. Better than the last women's match that they had on the pre-show. In the end, it was actually my girl, Shoko Nakajima, picking up the victory with an Ultra Kanrana on Riho, and setting up a match eventually between Britt Baker, DMD, I'm going to make sure I get that right, and Bea Priestley in the future. So they have some depth to this women's division, and they have already said they're going to be making some kind of an announcement about a women's title coming up very soon. And as is becoming tradition on the buy-in, we finish. By the way, I still hate that name buy-in if you're not in Las Vegas. Good old JR Jim Ross joins the commentary team as we transition to the show proper, and that's exactly what's going to happen in our next video. This has been Last Wrestling Podcast, episode 27, part 1, AEW Fight for the Fallen, buy-in, and a bit of a political screed. Thank you.